Hey everyone, I'm Ellen here at etrailer.com, and we're taking a quick look at the Timbren Silent Ride tandem axle or suspension for your tandem axle trailer. This gives you a really nice, quiet and stable ride for your trailer with that tandem axle. It does work with square axles. So basically how the system is going to work, it's going to replace your typical kind of equalizer and leaf spring system. The issues that can happen a lot of times if you're using that on any kind of trailer or camper, whenever you hit a pothole or something like that, a lot of times they'll bottom out. There's a lot of rattling and jostling around and bumping around on the road, especially if you've got a camper or you're using this for maybe a car hauler or something with a little bit more delicate cargo or stuff that you just don't want to be jostled that much. It can end up causing damage. A lot of campers, you'll find all your drawers, all your cabinet doors are open, things are spilled out everywhere, and it can just be kind of a mess. These are going to eliminate a lot of those issues and make for a really nice, smooth ride. The way that happens is because it's going to pivot and provide these Aeon springs, rubber springs, to make sure that everything is trying to get back to center as much as possible. So it's a really nice system. Definitely takes out a lot of the road noise, that jostling. You shouldn't have to worry about any of your stuff inside your camper being thrown all over the place. Everything should be just where you left it, so you don't have to make or clean up the whole area right when you get to your campsite. Again, as far as how this works, we'll have one for either side. So this is going to be basically how it's going to sit on your trailer. This would be where the bed of that trailer would go, or your camper. So this is going to be the inboard, and this would be the outboard sides. So if we look at this one, you can kind of get a little bit better idea. This beam goes all the way through and it pivots here. So this is the walking beam that will transfer the weight from one axle to the other. That makes for a really stable ride, and we don't have to worry about one axle taking all the brunt of the force at once. A lot of the times with equalizers, they're supposed to do that, but they don't really do it very efficiently or very effectively. This will do a much better job of transferring that weight as you go over a bump and then the next wheel comes behind it. Each of the spots where the axle will sit, which will be like right here and then right here, these arms are independent right here, so this is going to be another pivot point. So we'll have this walking beam that's going to pivot right here in the center, and then this is going to also move. So we have a lot of spots where that can move. There's that Aeon spring right here to try to push that back down, and then another spring up inside that you unfortunately can't see that's also trying to fight the forces to get everything sitting back to center. Having that spring in place is going to make for that really nice, quiet ride. That's why they give it the name Silent Ride, and it really does live up to it. Just providing that cushion between all the pieces helps to eliminate a lot of that rattle or metal on metal contact, so it should make for a big improvement. Now you will have to do some pretty major work to your trailer. It requires some welding and some drilling to get these guys installed, so that's something to keep in mind with this. It does also require a beam to go in between these springs, so you do have to get some parts to go with this. That is listed in the instructions on how to do that. You'll need a 2x4 hollow tube that I think they recommend that it has a 3/16 inch wall. Again, you do want to check the instructions for that to make sure that you get it right. And also something to think about that I've seen from a lot of customers, or a few that have put similar systems on their trailer, a lot of times this ends up dropping the ride height a little bit, so you might need to think about putting in some kind of spacers or a little bit of a lift to get this where you want it to be, especially if that's kind of close already on your rig. If you have bottoming out issues already, something to consider there. So few things as far as the install. It's not just for the everyday Joe. You'll have to have a little bit of mechanical knowledge to put these guys in place, or at least have a buddy who can do the welding for you, or somebody that you can go to get those axles welded on in place. Again, this is designed to work with square axles. It's 7,000 pound capacity. So that should match up again with what you've got there. That beam that I mentioned is going to go in between these two seats, so that's where they want you to put it. Also will require some hardware to attach that beam and also to attach it to the frame of your trailer, and that is not included either. I think they recommend having at least grade 5 bolts, if not higher. So that's kind of the pros and cons of the system. I think it's well worth the effort, definitely worth the money. It's going to be a much better system since it really doesn't require any kind of maintenance over time. A lot of times with those leaf springs and equalizer systems, you end up having to they wear out and you end up having to replace them over time. With these, you really shouldn't have to replace anything unless something really catastrophic happens. But that's pretty much all there is to it for these guys. I think this is going to be a great addition to your camper, your trailer, wherever you're going to be putting this, to really make a big improvement in how that handles overall. I hope this has been helpful in deciding if this is the right piece for you. That's always our goal here at etrailer.com, is to get you the right part the first time. So hope this helped. I'm Ellen here at eTrailer. Thanks for watching.